Ladies and gentlemen, reconciling without doing any forgiveness work often leads to what we call superficial reconciliation, a surface level agreement that appears peaceful but lacks the depth and healing necessary for true restoration. This kind of reconciliation can be misleading because it mimics the outward signs of harmony without addressing the underlying emotional and psychological wounds. Understanding the distinction between superficial reconciliation and genuine forgiveness is critical for anyone seeking real peace and healthy relationships. Superficial reconciliation often occurs when people feel pressured to make peace quickly, perhaps to avoid conflict, to keep the peace for appearances, or to move past a difficult situation without fully processing it. This can happen in families, workplaces, friendships, or communities. While it may feel like progress in the moment, without forgiveness work, the unresolved emotions and resentments remain beneath the surface, like simmering embers waiting to ignite again. One of the main problems with superficial reconciliation is that it skips over the essential inner work required to truly forgive. Forgiveness is not merely saying, "I'm sorry," or "let's move on." It involves acknowledging the pain, understanding its impact, processing emotions honestly, and ultimately choosing to release bitterness and resentment. When this process is bypassed, reconciliation becomes a fragile facade, lacking the strength to withstand future challenges. In superficial reconciliation, the parties involved may agree to coexist peacefully or even appear to be friends again, but there is often a lack of authentic emotional connection. Trust, which is the foundation of any strong relationship, remains damaged or absent. Without trust, interactions may be guarded, superficial, or filled with underlying tension. This dynamic can be exhausting and confusing, as people try to navigate relationships that look peaceful on the surface but feel distant or strained beneath. Moreover, superficial reconciliation can prevent personal growth. Forgiveness work often leads to important insights about oneself, others, and the nature of human imperfection. It can be a powerful catalyst for empathy, compassion, and emotional maturity. When reconciliation skips forgiveness, these opportunities for growth are lost. People remain stuck in their grievances or denial, unable to fully move forward or deepen their understanding. The emotional toll of superficial reconciliation can also manifest in various unhealthy ways. Resentment that is unaddressed may morph into passive-aggressive behavior, chronic stress, or emotional numbness. These symptoms not only affect individual well-being but also ripple outward, affecting other relationships and environments. Over time, unresolved pain can erode mental health, leading to anxiety, depression, or feelings of isolation. Another crucial aspect to consider is that superficial reconciliation often fails to honor the complexity of forgiveness itself. Forgiveness is a process, not a single event. It takes time, patience, and repeated efforts to work through the layers of hurt and betrayal. By contrast, superficial reconciliation expects a quick fix, a neat resolution that rarely matches the depth of the hurt experienced. This mismatch between expectation and reality can lead to disappointment and further damage. Superficial reconciliation can also perpetuate cycles of harm. When wounds are not genuinely healed, people may unconsciously repeat patterns of hurt, mistrust, or avoidance. This dynamic can play out in families across generations, in workplaces with recurring conflicts, or in communities grappling with unresolved divisions. Without forgiveness work, the root causes remain unaddressed, leaving the cycle intact and ready to erupt again. True reconciliation rooted in forgiveness, however, creates a foundation for lasting peace and restored relationships. It allows for honest dialogue, vulnerability, and emotional expression. Genuine forgiveness acknowledges the pain and the wrongs done without condoning them, and it chooses compassion over bitterness. This process rebuilds trust and creates a space where healing can flourish. It's important to recognize that genuine forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing harmful actions. It does not require reconciliation at any cost or the resumption of a relationship that is unsafe or toxic. Rather, it is an internal process of releasing the hold that anger and resentment have over your heart. This release is what makes true reconciliation possible and sustainable. Many people struggle with the misconception that forgiveness is a one-time event or a simple decision. In reality, forgiveness is often a journey filled with ups and downs. It may involve revisiting painful memories, wrestling with conflicting emotions, and sometimes seeking support from trusted friends, mentors, or professionals. This journey requires courage and commitment, but it is the pathway to authentic peace. Superficial reconciliation often avoids this journey because it is uncomfortable and demands vulnerability. People may fear that opening up about their pain will lead to rejection, further conflict, or loss. They may feel pressured by social expectations to just get along or let it go quickly. These fears are natural, but can ultimately prevent true healing and deeper connection. In contrast, genuine forgiveness embraces vulnerability as a strength. It allows people to show their authentic selves, including their wounds and imperfections. This authenticity fosters empathy and mutual understanding, creating stronger and more resilient relationships. When forgiveness work is done, reconciliation becomes a celebration of growth rather than a fragile truce. Another aspect of the difference between superficial reconciliation and genuine forgiveness is how they impact your sense of self. Superficial reconciliation may leave you feeling unresolved or diminished, as if you have sacrificed your truth or peace for the sake of appearances. Genuine forgiveness, on the other hand, restores your inner harmony. It affirms your worth and honors your experience, allowing you to reclaim your power and peace. Furthermore, superficial reconciliation often leaves the door open to future conflicts because the core issues were never addressed. Genuine forgiveness closes that door by healing wounds and building new foundations. It creates a sense of closure that empowers all parties to move forward without carrying old baggage. It's also worth noting that genuine forgiveness often leads to personal transformation. The process can change how you see yourself, others, and the world. It fosters compassion and patience, reduces judgment and resentment, and cultivates a deeper sense of peace and acceptance. This transformation enriches your life beyond the immediate relationship and touches every area of your being. Superficial reconciliation, lacking this depth, may provide temporary relief but fails to produce these lasting benefits. It can become a form of denial or avoidance, which ultimately prolongs pain and conflict. This kind of reconciliation is fragile, easily broken by stress or misunderstanding, and does not support genuine intimacy or connection. Understanding the difference between superficial reconciliation and genuine forgiveness also invites us to reconsider our approach to conflict and healing. It encourages us to slow down, to listen deeply, and to engage with our emotions honestly. It challenges us to prioritize inner healing over quick fixes and to value authenticity over appearances. In practice, distinguishing between these two types of reconciliation can guide how we navigate relationships and conflicts. It encourages us to seek or offer reconciliation only when we are willing to engage in the forgiveness work required. It empowers us to recognize when reconciliation is premature or insincere and to protect our emotional well-being accordingly. Superficial reconciliation may look like saying, "I forgive you," without truly meaning it or agreeing to move on while still holding grudges. It might be ignoring unresolved feelings or avoiding difficult conversations to maintain peace. Genuine forgiveness, in contrast, involves an intentional process of emotional release, understanding, and acceptance. In summary, the difference between superficial reconciliation and genuine forgiveness lies in the depth of emotional work and authenticity involved. Superficial reconciliation is a surface-level peace that often masks unresolved pain and leaves relationships vulnerable. Genuine forgiveness requires courage, vulnerability, and commitment, leading to true healing, restored trust, and stronger connections. Recognizing this difference is essential for anyone seeking lasting peace in their relationships and in their own heart. Forgiveness work is essential for lasting healing and authentic relationships because it addresses the core wounds and emotional pain that lie beneath conflict and hurt. Without engaging in forgiveness work, reconciliation remains incomplete, fragile, and often short-lived. Forgiveness work is not a simple or quick process. It requires intentionality, courage, and patience. It involves confronting difficult emotions, processing the impact of harm, and ultimately making a conscious decision to release resentment and bitterness. This work is the foundation upon which genuine healing and authentic relationships are built. At the heart of forgiveness work is the recognition that forgiveness is an active choice rather than a passive feeling. Many people misunderstand forgiveness as forgetting or excusing harmful behavior. But true forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the grip of negative emotions that keep you trapped in the past. It is a deliberate act of reclaiming your peace and well-being, regardless of whether the other person apologizes or changes. This internal process transforms your relationship with the pain and allows you to move forward with greater clarity and freedom. Engaging in forgiveness work helps you process the emotional complexity that comes with being hurt. When someone wrongs us, we often experience a range of emotions: anger, sadness, betrayal, confusion, and fear. These feelings are valid and natural responses to pain, but if left unexamined, they can fester and poison your emotional landscape. Forgiveness work invites you to face these emotions honestly, to acknowledge them without judgment, and to understand their origins. This emotional processing is essential for healing because it prevents suppression, denial, or avoidance, which only prolongs suffering. Forgiveness work also promotes empathy and understanding. As you engage deeply with your pain and the circumstances surrounding it, you may begin to see the situation from a broader perspective. This doesn't mean condoning wrongdoing, but recognizing the humanity and imperfections of everyone involved, including yourself and the person who hurt you. Developing empathy can soften anger and open the door to compassion, which are critical components of genuine forgiveness. This shift from blame to understanding is transformative, allowing relationships to move beyond conflict toward connection. Another vital aspect of forgiveness work is restoring trust, both in others and within yourself. Trust is often damaged or shattered in the wake of betrayal or hurt. Through forgiveness work, you learn to rebuild this trust gradually by setting healthy boundaries, communicating openly, and observing consistent behavior over time. Forgiveness does not require immediate trust or reconciliation. Rather, it creates a safe space where trust can be rebuilt authentically and sustainably. Forgiveness work is also crucial for your own mental and physical health. Carrying unresolved resentment and bitterness is emotionally exhausting and can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, depression, and even physical ailments like high blood pressure and weakened immunity. Studies have shown that forgiveness practices can reduce stress hormones, lower heart rates, and improve overall well-being. By engaging in forgiveness work, you are actively choosing health and vitality over the toxic effects of lingering pain. Importantly, forgiveness work encourages personal responsibility and growth. It invites you to examine your role in conflicts and relationships without falling into self-blame or defensiveness. This balanced self-reflection fosters humility and self-awareness, which are key to personal development. When you take responsibility for your emotions and reactions, you empower yourself to make conscious choices that align with your values and goals. The process of forgiveness work often involves several stages. Initially, there may be shock or denial about the hurt experienced. Then comes the emotional release, where you allow yourself to feel the pain fully. Following this, you may engage in cognitive reframing, changing the narrative around the event to see it in a new light. Finally, you reach acceptance and the decision to forgive, which is both an emotional release and a conscious commitment to let go of resentment. Each stage requires time and patience, and individuals may move through them at different paces. Forgiveness work also challenges societal and cultural misconceptions that equate forgiveness with weakness or condoning bad behavior. In reality, forgiveness is an act of strength and courage. It requires confronting pain head-on and choosing peace over revenge or bitterness. This strength is what enables individuals and communities to heal from deep wounds and build resilient relationships. In the context of relationships, forgiveness work lays the groundwork for authentic connection. When both parties are willing to engage in this process, they create a space where honesty, vulnerability, and trust can flourish. This authenticity is the essence of meaningful relationships, whether romantic, familial, professional, or communal. Without forgiveness work, relationships risk becoming transactional or superficial, lacking the depth and resilience needed to withstand challenges. Forgiveness work also supports conflict resolution. When people take the time to process their emotions and perspectives deeply, they are better equipped to engage in constructive dialogue. This reduces misunderstandings, prevents escalation, and fosters collaborative problem solving. Forgiveness becomes not just a personal healing tool, but a communal resource for peace building. Another critical benefit of forgiveness work is the restoration of your sense of agency. When hurt, it's easy to feel powerless and victimized. Forgiveness work reclaims your power by shifting the focus from what was done to you to what you can do for yourself. This empowerment fosters resilience and optimism, allowing you to face future challenges with confidence. Forgiveness work also helps to break cycles of resentment and retaliation that can trap families, communities, and societies in ongoing conflict. By choosing forgiveness, individuals become agents of change, modeling behavior that promotes healing and reconciliation. This ripple effect can transform environments, leading to greater harmony and understanding. The journey of forgiveness work is deeply personal and unique to each individual. Some may find solace in spiritual or religious practices that emphasize forgiveness. Others may benefit from counseling, support groups, or therapeutic interventions that provide guidance and tools for processing pain. Creative outlets such as writing, art, or music can also facilitate emotional expression and healing. Whatever the method, The commitment to engage in forgiveness work is a profound act of self-love and courage. It is important to recognize that forgiveness work does not obligate you to maintain relationships that are harmful or abusive. True forgiveness protects your boundaries and well-being. It allows you to let go of resentment even while choosing distance or separation for your safety. This distinction is vital to avoid misconceptions that forgiveness means enduring ongoing harm. Forgiveness work also fosters gratitude and peace. As you release bitterness, you create mental and emotional space to appreciate the positive aspects of your life and relationships. This gratitude enhances your overall happiness and resilience, creating a foundation for continued growth. Engaging in forgiveness work deepens your understanding of human imperfection and the complexity of relationships. It teaches patience, humility, and the power of vulnerability. These lessons enrich your character and equip you to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. In summary, forgiveness work is the essential foundation for lasting healing and authentic relationships. It transforms pain into growth, bitterness into compassion, and conflict into connection. By committing to this deep, intentional process, you empower yourself to reclaim peace, build trust, and cultivate meaningful bonds. Forgiveness work is not easy, but it is one of the most courageous and rewarding journeys you can undertake for yourself and those you care about.